Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what is your best insult without using curse words? I bet your parents change the subject when people ask about you. Your mom tells you not to call her mom in public. Why does grandma hate me so much, mom? You're difficult to underestimate. I expected nothing and was still disappointed. Classic Michael Scott insults. Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things you choose to be. Stolen from Bob's Burgers. If she was a spice, she'd be flour. In the world of hot sauces, you would be ketchup. You look like your favorite soft drink is water. Hydro homies. I envy those who don't know you. I've legit said this about a co-worker. It's the most accurate and polite thing that could be said about her that day. I'm kind of jealous that you got around to use this. I've never been in a situation in which I could have said this so far. What did she do to make you say this? I wish we were better strangers, Shakespeare. My grandfather would often wish us a goodbye by saying, "Come back when you can't stay so long. Sell when you can, you are not for all markets, Shakespeare." I'd say you could learn from this, but then we'd both be wrong. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. One of my favorite Archer jokes uses this format. Can you explain compound interest to Cheryl? I could, if we had an infinite amount of time and she were someone else. That show had the best insults. From Mallory. If I wanted a grandchild, I'd just scrape all your previous mishaps into a pile and knit a Z for it. Rip Jessica Walter. I don't have the time or the crayons available to explain it to you. You're not the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope they don't die. If I were on the receiving end, I would respond, then I hope you live responsibly. A toast to your health then. One of my favs, you couldn't pour water out of a boot with the instructions on the heel. You've only got 2 brain cells, and they're both fighting for 3rd place. Somewhere in the world there's a tree working hard to replace the oxygen you're wasting. Can I have another version for an insult towards a tree? Somewhere in the world there's a person working hard to replace the carbon dioxide you're wasting. Environmental engineer here. Trees are extremely resilient and are great at dealing with water and temperature stress. However, there's a permanent wilting point that once the tree reaches it, it will die because it won't be able to recover from that. By knowing that it makes oxygen to you, the tree willingly reaches that point sooner. You're a great cover style topic. Not when you're here but when you leave. Everyone brings joy to this place. Some by entering, and some by leaving. Just stole this from another editor yesterday. Your family tree doesn't fork. Your family tree is a wreath. You had so much potential. Stole this from an ex-girlfriend. It's not me, it's you. No way, it's you. You're as useful as an ashtray on a motorcycle. Or favorite of my gramps, you're as useful as a sightseeing tour for the blind. As useful as a screen door on a submarine. You seem like the sort of person who knows which color of crayon tastes the best. The answer is green, but the burnt umber is pretty good too. If I agreed with you, we'd both be wrong. You are not the person Mr. Rogers knew you could be. Or your parents aren't even disappointed in you. They know this is the best you can do. That last one is brutal. Thanks, it really is. There really are no gaps in your ignorance. Reminds me of. Well, my days of not taking you seriously are certainly coming to a middle. Captain Mal, Firefly. You weren't burdened with an overabundance of schooling. Malcolm Reynolds. That's my favorite English insult from Firefly. Having you around is like losing 3 good friends. If I had a dog with a face like yours, I'd shave its butt and teach it to walk backwards. You're killing me, Smalls. I don't mean to sound condescending, that means talk down to you. I heard this in Jimmy Carr's voice. I found a new way to be condescending. Oh really? What is it? It's when you talk down to people. I know what condescending means. You. Cue understanding. Cyanide and happiness. You wet piece of lettuce. This feels super British for some reason. I read it Gordon Ramsay's voice. LMAO. Well, at least you're pretty. One of our asshole former HOA board members was always so rude and mean for no reason to residents when they asked simple, valid questions, so I finally said, "You're already fat and ugly, you don't have room to be an asshole on top of that." He honestly was quite horrendous looking. A quicker way to say that would be, "You don't have the looks to act like that." We set the bar so low, it was a tripping hazard in hell. Yet here you are, playing limbo with the devil. The bar is set so low, but you managed to bring a shovel. You just inspired me to come up with a similar one. I brought my expectations to the ground, but you brought a shovel. I've been called worse by better. Reminds me of Tolkien/Bilbo. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. Being insulted by Tolkien probably felt like being crushed to death by silk. Second-hand story, can't verify the authenticity and may get some of the terms wrong as I am not in the military. Enlisted soldier who was a combat veteran went to OCS to become an officer. Someone younger and further along was harassing him, and the veteran turned and said, "I've killed better men than you," and walked off. That's fucked on a few levels. That officer could have earned a Purple Heart from that one. Someone once said to me, "Your grandmother's prayers are wasted on you." I was hurt. My grandmother is an old Catholic woman. Well, not everyone is able to think critically. Thinking isn't for everyone, now is it? You're 7 pennies short of a nickel. You're the reason shampoo bottles come with instructions. You look like a magician whose only trick is turning Bud Light into domestic violence. You're like a magician, when you disappear everyone cheers. You've got a face for radio, the voice for newspaper, and the brains for neither. If your brain was made out of leather, you'd have enough to saddle a June bug. This is aggressively southern. A Brazilian living in TX, you hit the nail on the head. If brains were gunpowder, you couldn't even blow your nose. I don't have the time or the crayons to explain it to you. Also the nastier alternative. I would explain it to you, but if I take out the crayons, you would eat them. Similar to my favorite one from Archer. I could explain it if we had infinite time and you were someone else. You couldn't find water if you fell out of a boat. Me, have I told you lately that you're doing a good job? Them, no. Me, do you think there might be a reason for that? Reminds me of the manager at the place I waitressed in college. Manager, do you know why they sing this song? Me, no. Manager, so you don't have to. Cold. Or similarly. Me singing. Co-worker, who sings this song? Me, share. Co-worker, okay, let's keep it that way. In an attic somewhere there is a portrait of you getting prettier and prettier every day. Is this a portrait of Dorian Gray reference? Damn, my brain cell is hard at work here. Yup. I didn't expect anything from you and you still disappointed. Some sayings can be reversed for good results. You're a sore sight for eyes. It was a business doing pleasure with you. I'm not as dumb as you look. Missed one, what's a like you doing in a nice place like this? Why do I feel like these were pulled from an episode of MASH? Heard a guy call a girl on the bus a cocksucker. She responded with no hesitation, "You mad cause you ain't got one." The balls on that girl. I like her. Is your brain just an accessory? Your father was a hamster and your mother smelled of elderberries. I'll fart in your general direction. Now go away before I taunt * you a second time. I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king? Your mom should have swallowed you. Came to comments so I could roast my twin brother. Well then. You're not worth the space I shared with you back then. That's very clever. Eat any good books lately? How can I prove to you I'm mortal? Die. That exchange between Q and Worth was hilarious. Bless your heart. His cornbread ain't done in the middle, if you know what I mean. Ah yes, the Southern standard. It sounds so endearing when you hear a nice old lady say it. It's not lol. Same with bless your soul or I'll pray for you. Bless your heart is really context dependent. Much like the word fuck, it can be used in multiple occasions. Someone is as asshole. Bless your heart can obviously mean fuck you and the horse you rode in on. but I don't know how Linda takes such good care of that mother-in-law of hers. I swear, Mildred is really Satan in disguise. Bless her heart, that woman has the patience of a saint. That's biblical praise while acknowledging a crappy situation not of someone's own making. Overtired / overstimulated child is being fussy and irritating. Someone says, bless her little heart. Poor lamb needs a nap. That one is yeah, I'm a bit annoyed, but I understand. Source, you can take the girl out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the girl. Your 10-ply bud. I also enjoy your spare parts bud. Wish you weren't so fucky awkward, bud. Give your balls a tug. Nice muscle shirt. Do the muscle come later? Did you get a tracking number? Oh, I hope you got a tracking number. Now I'd say give your balls a tug, but it looks like your pants are doing that for you. I suggest you let that one marinate.